Hey, what's up everybody? I'm Justin with AmericanTrucks.com and welcome to our best of video for the brush and grill guard category, available for that 2015 and newer F-150. Now the purpose of these videos, as is the case with all of our best of videos, is to help you guys narrow down your choices a little bit more within the category by giving you 3 options that we really like, in addition to factoring in some customer feedback as well. But why go with an aftermarket brush or grill guard over an aftermarket bumper or even a bull bar? Well, if you're watching this video, then chances are you already know the answer to this question: protection. A brush or grill guard will be your best bet at protecting the entire front end while contributing to a more aggressive look at the same time. Now the 3 options we have in this video here today, including the Barricade, the Weston, and the Steelcraft, will all feature a very similar design, but there will be some subtle differences between each option. So with all that said, let's get after it. First up, we have the bare bones and super affordable option from Barricade in gloss black. Now this thing would be a great choice for those owners out there looking to dip their toes into the brush guard world, but would prefer to keep things as budget friendly as possible while still getting a bunch of front end protection. And in fact, at the high $300 price point, the Barricade's not only your most affordable option in the category, but it's also going to be one of the most popular as well, with over 30 5-star reviews. Now to help keep some of that cost down, Barricade didn't use the nicest or burliest materials out there. Instead, they went with a 1.5-inch Schedule 30 steel tubing finished in a gloss or satin black powder coat. Now aside from that 1.5-inch steel tubing throughout, you're also going to find some smaller steel helping to give you a little bit more protection for your headlight area, but the grille area is left pretty exposed minus those 2 vertical supports. Now if you did want a little bit more protection for the grille area in addition to the headlight area, feel free to hang out for our next 2 selections. Now one thing I do really like about the Barricade is just how well it hugs the front end of your truck once installed. Yes, the next option will certainly give you a little bit more protection overall, more specifically for that grille area, but the flip side is it's going to stick out a little bit further from the front end of the truck. So all in all guys, the Barricade, yes, it might not be the most bulletproof option in the category, but it will offer a good amount of front end protection for not a lot of dough, and is a great entry-level choice here on the site. Up next, we have a step up in regards to both materials and protection from Weston, thanks to their HDX series brush guard in black. Now the Weston basically just picks up where the Barricade left off, gives you a lot more protection and a little bit more size, this time in the form of 2-inch stainless steel tubing throughout over the 1.5-inch tubing of the Barricade we just talked about. Aside from that guys, look forward to much beefier vertical supports here, in addition to that punch plate guarding your front grille area and the corresponding 1.5-inch tubing or supports there. And honestly guys, just moving this thing around the shop a little bit more, much heavier than the Barricade we just talked about, and just a much more bulletproof unit overall. Now this is going to be a welcome addition for any truck owner out there who might go off-roading a little bit more and just wants to protect that front end at all costs against rocks or debris both on and off-road. Now this thing is a fully welded one-piece design here for added strength, and again just will deliver the quality goods like stainless steel and the satin black powder coat, and by the way is backed by a 3-year warranty in case you run into any issues. As mentioned earlier, the Weston will protrude a little further from the front end compared to the Barricade we just talked about, which might bother some folks, but you have to keep in mind guys, you're getting a much stronger product here with the Weston and the HDX overall. And for around the $600 price point, it's a great choice for our best of list here today. Last but not least, we have our 3rd and final pick, the Steelcraft HD Grill Guard. Now, at first glance, I'll admit there's going to be a lot of similarities between the Steelcraft and the Weston we just talked about, but in my opinion, the Steelcraft is going to pick up where the Weston left off and just add a little bit more protection overall. For instance, the headlight area does get a little bit more protection, and the bars surrounding the headlight actually follow the shape of the 15 and newer design, which is something that doesn't really add protection per se, but it does add to the quality of appearance once installed. Now below the headlight, you're actually getting a little bit more beef or a little bit more protection there, and it just further helps protect the front end or the front corner of your truck under the grille area. And speaking of following the lines of the truck a little bit better, the Steelcraft, in my opinion, follows the grille opening much better, which is going to do 2 things for you. First and foremost, it's just going to look like it belongs on the truck in the first place, and secondly, it's going to give you a little bit more protection from rocks while on the road and other debris off the road for both above and below the grille opening. And speaking of the grill opening, that punch plate is incredibly thick and incredibly durable, much like the Weston HDX we just talked about. Another thing I do like about the Steelcraft is that it provides a little bit more room for those factory tow hooks to be utilized if you ever needed to use them, which is something not every grill guard in the category offers. So if you value your tow hooks, you'll be in luck here with the Steelcraft. Altogether, the Steelcraft is an affordable option that will give you the most coverage for the price and a solid choice for our third and final pick here in this video. Now before we get out of here, I do want to point out that all three of the options in this video will install rather easily using a basic socket set in addition to an extra set of hands or two, as these things are big, they're bulky, they're going to be a little heavy to move around by yourself in the shop or garage. In addition to that, there might be some slight trimming needed for the lower air dam or valance using a Dremel, air saw, or something similar. It's very minor, and honestly, it's not that visible once everything is installed. Either way, guys, we're going to call this install a 2 out of 3 wrenches on the difficulty meter here, and maybe 2 hours or less from start to finish before you have everything in place. Well, guys, that's going to wrap up our best of video for the brush guard category, available for that 2015 and newer rig. We hope it helped you narrow down your choices a little bit more within the category, but if not, if you're still on the fence, feel free to check out the rest of our selection here at AT. In the meantime, guys, I'm Justin. Thanks for watching. For all things F-150, keep it right here at AmericanTrucks.com.